PA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. Fielded just outside the goal line.
The Cowboys make over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat for a first down. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The Cowboys at 4-8 now on the year. And they come in losers at 2 straight, so try to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And some room to work. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Rodrigo Blankenship now for the PAT. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30, right about the 29. A man coming off a washout 2021. It's Travis Etienne. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 11 more on that one and another first down. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. possession. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside third of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to the ground with Etienne. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. On 4th down, Herbert. Got a man, it's Tyquan Thornton. And he is going to have a Texans first down as this defense, boy, a little too loose there. They give up a gain of 19 on 4th down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's just running the ball 101 because too much east-west, not enough north-south. Got to get upfield, don't you?
They just kept stringing him out before he knew it. He had hit the sideline. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Another toe for Etienne. And the ball is knocked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Here's Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take over here up near the 40. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That play could never get started thanks to the defensive effort of Shaq Thompson.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Cowboys are going to have it here just past the 25.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Rodgers now on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's got room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big pickup of 38.
Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should, because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage.
Rodgers now to throw. He'll find Jones again, complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushed him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And it's caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Aaron Jones. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Cowboys go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Handoff running left is ETN. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. ETN up the middle. Darius Williams in there to make the tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Play action. It's Herbert. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Travis Etienne, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Texans have got it back to within a score. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
And he's got it for the two-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game.
Takes it at the 7. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
My partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Daxton Hill picks it off.
And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. And he is into the end zone to give him a 2-point lead. And they turn the pick 6 into a pick 8 with that 2-point conversion.
I love how you upsell. That is outstanding right there. What a big-time play. Big switch in how this game was going, and then they capitalize with a little bit on top.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And not the first time that they're coming back out off of a turnover, but the last one really hurt Charles with that pick 6.
And it feels like the whole team's infected right now, doesn't it? It's not just been one person. It's kind of been a group effort where the mistakes have happened. Can they put that aside, kind of start over, and put together a nice drive?
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line.
85 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
On third down, here's Jones. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
Rodgers gonna go on fourth down. Caught. Kelsey, left side. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Texans take over an excellent field position.
Okay, ready?
They'll try the left side with ETN.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, remember, he had a fumble earlier in this first half and got saved, but no such saving here. It's a turnover.
Yeah, and as a coach and as a teammate, you're hoping that he learned from the first one. There was a lesson there, but obviously he doesn't have enough focus in order to lose it a second time. That simply can't happen if you're trying to win a game.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers.
This one swung out here to Jones.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Throwing is Rodgers.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones. Finding space at the 40.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Hey, take 26! Back north!
Rodgers to throw once more. And Diggs has it. Touchdown! Stephon Diggs. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have regained the lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Rodgers will throw for it. And that's caught at the 2. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Last time out, remember, they fumbled the football. That led to the touchdown. And, Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive.
Yeah, and I actually started to do the math here, so be patient with me. 12-point swing is the way I calculate it because not only did they drop the ball in the red zone, they watched the opponent score a touchdown right after that. So their goal, have a drive here and try and get some of those points back.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Herbert. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, turnabout is fair play, I guess. They had a pick-6 against them earlier, and now this defense, Charles, they get a pick-6 of their own.
And for a moment, let's just set aside how it impacts the scoreboard because how about the response? One defense gets the pick-6, the other comes back and matches it. These are two defenses that are planning on winning the game for their teams themselves.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Here's a give to ETN.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw complete there to Moore. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Straight ahead, ETN.
And some space here. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
75 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Herbert now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. DJ Moore, a 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
And they are 3 for 3 on two-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room.
Diggs with a good footwork. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. They'll send Beckham in motion right. Now Rodgers. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. A final shot before the break for Herbert.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
We welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return way back at the 11. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
And they'll go again with Etienne.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Here we go on fourth. Herbert.
He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd.
Yeah.
After that one.
Here in the third quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a fourth down play.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
86 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a first down carry by Jones. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
Oh, he shifts past him. And he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down.
Jones will take this into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Dallas, Texas is the spot. Third quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Again, Herbert. And that is incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 16. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And the broken tackle could not free him. Taken down right at the 10-yard line. 97 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
A give, running right, ETN.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
3rd and 2, Herbert.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the 1st. They'll run with ETN. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Travis Etienne, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. And that is what you call lowering the boom down near the goal line. He was going to force his way in no matter what.
They always talk about low man wins when it comes to the offensive line, having the leverage to move the defenders. It's strong man wins when it comes to tackling in the red zone. And if you happen to be the low man...
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go again to Jones. And some room to maneuver. There he goes, right side. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
From the 6.
And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Under pressure, they got him again. Von Miller, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. They snap it to Herbert.
He's got his man, Thornton. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Now it's Herbert.
Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Herbert on first down now. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown.
Tyquan Thornton,
44 yards.
And the Texans have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Taking it about the 1. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Airing this one out for Evans. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Texans are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Boy, they get him wet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
Out of the pistol, the give to Jones. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Corey Littleton there on the tackle. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
They'll run it with Jones. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. That 4th down conversion has to feel good because prior to that, they were 0 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
So whether it was stubbornness or just figuring the odds had to come up in their favor, bottom line, they executed on that play, and that's what got it done.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Again, it's Jones. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Aaron Jones with career touchdown number 75. And the Cowboys are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Herbert going to throw. That's caught by Thornton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now Herbert. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Herbert. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 22-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on 1st down. Herbert to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Throwing, Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Herbert. And that will be incomplete.
That means there's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Cowboys are going to win this football game. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Second and 11. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Rodgers to throw for it on fourth. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Cowboys here unable to convert on fourth down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now Herbert. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
With no timeouts left, that's a dangerous proposition. Work in the middle of the field. Fortunately for them, that one fell incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Herbert now to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the Cowboys will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Cowboys, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Houston, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.